Oh my God, she was such in shock and dismay that a college student recognizes something overseas.
Disrupt America till I fuck.
Weird thing to happen. Speaking of free speech, I want to bring this up. So this is at NYU. So we're in May into June. That's usually graduation season for a lot of college students, high schoolers, whatnot. That was the time, when I graduated high school, graduated college, around that time. And this happened at NYU. So the valedictorian, this is the grad speech that made the NYU withhold the student's diploma. So this young student, who is the valedictorian, made this speech to his commencement involving Israel and Palestine. And NYU restrict his diploma because of this speech. And people have made a firestorm about this, but I'm going to show you what this kid said. And I don't think it's the controversy that people are uptight about. I think it's more of a based rhetoric based on the situation that's happening in the Middle East. Listen to this.
Alumni speaker, fellow graduates, and loved ones. Trying to find my family in the crowd. There they are. I've been freaking out a lot about this speech, honestly. And as I search my heart today in addressing you all, my moral and political commitments guide me to say that the only thing that is appropriate to say in this time and to a group this large is a recognition of the atrocities currently happening in Palestine.
So, crowd applauding that, but somewhere in the back, one of the administrators is looking at him, shaking his head. Naughty boy. Dare say a word. Don't you dare. Don't. No. Bad. Be a good student. Be a good clog in the machine. Don't mention a word about atrocities. Don't mention a word about war crimes. Just be a good boy. Good boy. Sit, Ubu, sit. Good boy.
I want to say that the genocide currently occurring is supported politically and militarily by the United States, is paid for by our tax dollars, and has been live streamed to our phones for the past 18 months, and that I do not wish to speak only to my own politics today, but to speak for all people of conscience, and all people who feel the moral injury of this atrocity. And I want to say that I condemn this genocide and complicity in this genocide. Thank you to the class of 2025, and congratulations.
That was a based commencement speech. Most based ever. And obviously, this is going to stir up some people. The crowd was cheering. The students applauded and screeching. obviously in support of this, but you know how colleges, universities, and administrators and people in the higher up, they're very sensitive when it comes to talking about an issue that is so obvious to people that are observant of the crisis. But since they've been lied to since birth, particularly the Zionist crowd, they're not saying this too well. They're not saying this too well. And it got pretty heated. So, Breakthrough News says, bravo, NYU Valedictorian condemns Israeli genocide in graduation speech. University withheld their diploma. NYU student Logan Rozos denounced Israel's genocide in Gaza during his graduation speech to roaring applause. In retaliation, NYU has withheld his diploma and is threatening further disciplinary actions. I guess they should have hired Oprah. I guess they should have hired a celebrity to do the commencement speech, because God forbid a student who's observant. That is not what we need in the future. That is not what we need in the future, okay? What we need is just you to be this guy that sees things and doesn't say a word about it. That's what a good role model would do. Now go repeat that to your fellow curmudgeon students. Don't be observant about other issues. Don't be globalizing this. So then this email, this is from one of the parents writing to NYU about the student who had his diploma, the Logan Rozos, who had his diploma taken away from him and is now doing an investigation because of a commencement speech. So they say, Dear John Beckman, I am writing to you, usually proud NYU Gallatin alums, to tell you that today I am not proud of my alum mater because my school is trying to penalize Logan Rozos for doing what any person of conscience should be doing. Speaking out about the horrific genocide our tax dollars and his tuition dollars are funding. Again, fairly based. Fairly based. As an academic institution, NYU specifically ought to be condemning what many in the academic community have referred to as scholasticide. Scholasticide? That's a new word. By the state of Israel, which has flattened every one of the indigenous Palestine population schools in Gaza. As a Gallatin alums and as a Jewish American. So they can't even pull the anti-Semitism card for this. This guy's a Jewish American speaking out against the genocide in Israel and telling that to NYU. So no doubt NYU is stuck in a conundrum because they can't pull the anti-Semitism card. But maybe they can pull a Ben Shapiro self-hating Jew card, which is apparently now the thing. Oh, you're a self-hating Jew because you don't go by our propagandized rules. You're not part of the cult. You're not cool about bloodshed and murder. Yeah. Jewish American who lost family to another genocide. I stand with Logan Rozos for courageously using his voice to denounce atrocity and for embodying the very best values any academic institution should hold and wish to instill in the young minds of its students. As proud as I am that the NYU Gallatin is still sending out into the world students as of a strong moral fiber as Logan Rozos, and those many who righteously cheered his speech, so too am I ashamed at NYU as an institution for penalizing Logan for his speech, a speech that did not even mention the very nation responsible for the genocide, but merely condemned the act of killing civilians itself and its own nation's complicity in those war crimes. It's never too late to do the right thing, restore Logan Rozos' diploma, and join the right side of history. So that is an alumni who went to NYU and is a Jewish American telling the administrators at NYU that they are in the wrong. That taking away the student's diploma for a speech that they disagree with is the complete opposite of what this institution is supposed to be. You know, all the diversity, all the, you know, welcoming and we want to be inclusive. That's all a facade. All these Ivy League schools are lying to you. And frankly, I really don't know why people even bother dealing with these Ivy League schools. Because now it's full front, it's out in the open, their colors have been revealed, that they're not welcoming of people. They're not welcoming. It's not a cultural bastion. It's not a marketplace of ideas. That's what college is supposed to be. You're supposed to walk in there and expose yourself to new ideas and opinions and grow yourself as a person. Not at NYU, not at Stanford. Harvard has at least tried to fight back, and definitely not at Columbia because of this. Because the school is being blackmailed and committed to serving the needs of the warlord interest in Israel and the Zionist movement ahead of its students, ahead of its alma mater. So this has obviously caused a stir for people, including this woman, who is apparently having a meltdown over a college kid and his speech. They're having a meltdown about something that a student observed about the world and is condemning the killing of innocent children. A woman's having a meltdown because the speech was being presented. Not because a country is slaughtering innocent mothers and children and daughters and sons and fathers and mothers and journalists and medics across the land, but being offended by a student's speech. Which goes to show you that the Zionists and the woke right are the biggest Karens. And by far probably greater than the left-wing Karens, because the right-wing Karens are absolute hypocrites. At least the left-wing Karens, we know that they're for censoring speech. We know that they're not inclusive. We know that they want to crack down on people, that they have meltdowns for dead naming people or not saying the right pronoun to someone. We know that, but the right wing that keeps telling you that we're against that, and we're for free speech, and we're patriotic, lied to you. They lied to you constantly. And that's what it means to be woke right, because these individuals that claim to be free speech absolutists have completely exposed themselves when it comes to this issue. So the Palestine News Network says a Zarin. I like that. That should be a new that should be on a t-shirt right there. Should consider that. A Zarin has a meltdown over NYU graduation speech. So this woman is losing her mind over a college student, a valedictorian, in the words they saying on graduation when the room is applauding it. And this woman from God knows where is having a meltdown over it in the most absurd way.
Hey guys, so there is so much to unpack regarding yesterday's horrific speech given at NYU's Gallatin undergraduate commencement service.
So this kind of doesn't surprise me because of where this came from. This is from a channel called End Jew Hatred. But the surprising thing about that is this is actually promoting Jew hatred, because the Zionists, who are not actually Jewish, they try to conflate the two, but Zionists who are not Jewish because there's actual Jewish Americans, like you saw in that letter, who are against this, are penalizing those Jewish people. They're killing Semites. Palestinians are Semites. Same with Israelis, they're Semites. And they're beating the crap out of each other. They're beating the crap so that Zionists could take over Judaism. So they're the ones that are spreading Jew hatred, Not college students, not this kid, not people supportive of Palestine, but the actual Zionists themselves. They are the biggest goddamn hypocrites on earth. And you're about to see this woman expose her true colors because of a speech, a commencement speech at a university.
Rozos got up there. I'm sure you've seen it by now. The speech was so horrific. I have a very close friend's daughter who's a student there who had to sit through that, and she texted me the second it was over in complete shock that this was her commencement ceremony.
Oh my God, she was such in shock and dismay that a college student recognizes something overseas. God damn it. I thought we ruined kids' minds by MTV's Jersey Shore. Why did they have to be so observant? I knew we should have banned TikTok. Which, funny enough, I think this lady would definitely be approved to ban TikTok while using TikTok to stop anti-Semitism. Again, this shows what hypocrites these people are. Shows what hypocrites they are. And if that child, if her friend's daughter was truly traumatized by that speech, I don't know what's traumatizing about it, but if she was truly traumatized, where's the text? Show the screen. You can do a screen grab. Show us that she was traumatized. You can blur out people's names. Why don't you show us the evidence? Because you don't have any. You're making BS up to pose yourself as a victim to then psychologically suck people in to your dilemma to promote this craziness, this barbaric craziness. That's what cults do. That's why Zionism is a cult. It's not Judaism. It's a damn cult.
At the point that, yes, we did go live with the speech immediately. It did get noticed by NYU, and we did get a statement so far. NYU denounced his speech and stated that he lied about the speech he was going to deliver and violated the commitment he made to comply with our rules. The university is withholding his diploma while we pursue disciplinary actions. So that's one good thing. But we need to discuss the deeper issue here. It's the issue of these students, these children being indoctrinated by faculty, indoctrinated by the world around them to believe these things.
They're being indoctrinated by the world around them. They should be sitting at home and being brain sucked by CNN and MSNBC and Fox. They should be being lectured by the baby boomers. Oh my God, these kids are being observant. They're using their minds. Why can't they just shut up and play hacky sack? I miss when they were ruining the economy with avocado toast. Like, do you hear this lady? Do you hear this lady? How insane this is? Oh, it's such a good thing that the NYU took away his diploma. Over one speech. Over one speech. He's a valedictorian, for God's sakes. They took away his diploma for one speech. Because apparently a very few of these people, and this woman in particular, found it offensive, found it disgusting. How dare you? Good Lord.
For him to get up there and give what is supposed to be an NYU commencement speech, it was 4 minutes of the worst, most horrific, blatant lies, Jew hatred, true blood libel, insightful words that were said that had nothing to do with the fact that he was an NYU graduate. Yes, NYU.
Yes, the most blood libel, Jew hatred words you could ever hear from that speech. What words would that be? What words would that be? Give me some examples. Go ahead. You up. Ladies first. Do you see the pattern with these crybabies? Do you see the pattern with these Zarens? I'm using that term now. A Zaren. Do you see the pattern? They go, boo-hoo, oh my God, the hatred, the bigotry, the anti-Semitism, blood libel, lies, words, They don't give any examples. They don't prove their arguments, which proves that they're making up crap because they're psychologically nuts. These are brainwashed individuals who are lied to at birth, are the Zionist indoctrination to demonize people that express concern about the onset slaughter of innocent civilians. This is unbelievable. It is unbelievable that this is happening in 2025. I thought we had the craziness back in the early 2000s when people were criticizing the Iraq War. And people that were doing that were Saddam apologists. And, oh, you're on the side of terrorists. You're on our side or their side. This takes it to a whole new level. Because now they want to investigate this kid. They're refusing to give his diploma. There's other Zarins out there that are trying to condemn him from getting a job. Are you freaking kidding me? So this kid, this young man who is the valedictorian, who went through all the hoops and ladders to get into NYU, passed all of his courses, and doing a commencement speech, because the speech offended you, you want to make him unemployable. That kind of goes against your argument and your cover that the Zionists don't control the world. It's like how Michael Rappaport says he can't get work because, you know, all the Arabs that run Hollywood, those damn Mohabs and Wasabis out there that are running Hollywood right now, God forbid, Michael Rappaport, with all of his great talent, can't get work. He can't get work. It's just unfair. It's unfair. The words that he's saying. What words would that be? What words would that be? Please elaborate. Let's see the rest.
We did condemn this, but why wasn't the speech stopped? Why wasn't he escorted off stage, for instance? So there are so many steps here that we do need to dig into more, but I really do think that the larger issue that we need to address is faculty, what is going on in these classrooms, and we need to take a deeper dive and look into these kids that are being treated like pawns in this grand scheme. And
we need to investigate these kids that are being treated like pawns, because I want to treat them like pawns, and then these kids are roaming free, using TikTok and looking up things around the world and having their own conclusive thoughts that genocide and war crimes are bad. Oh, the horror. Oh. You know, Tim Pool, Beanie Hat Tim Pool, once said that he predicted in 20 years' time, or less than 20 years, I think it's going to be sooner than that, but he said in less than 20 years, the Zionist narrative will be officially dead. That there's no way to convince people, there's no way to indoctrinate them, there's no way to coerce them into this propaganda garbage. And this is the meltdown. This is the cult meltdown that they're losing touch. It's like watching, you know, watching Scientologists. When that actress, what's her name? Leah Remini. Leah Remini, who was a former Scientologist, she did that expose. She did a docuseries about it. And Scientology is losing its credibility, and that's when Hollywood decided to freak out, and all these Scientologists gather together and say, "What are you doing? You awful, awful person. Awful." Why? Because they got indoctrinated. Because they've been tricked. They're part of a cult. They mind-controlled you. That's what this woman is dealing with. She's dealing with the fact that she can't handle someone outside the cult correcting and exposing her to the real world. She can't handle that. She can't process that. So she's having a meltdown, freaking out, going, it's anti-Semitic. It's blood libel. La, 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 la. Because she has no argument. She has no argument. But she's having a meltdown because a child, a college kid, is graduating. He's a class valedictorian and made a speech. Made a very base speech. But hey, if NYU want to, discredit themselves even further, then go get Oprah. Go get a celebrity. Have Lady Gaga Skype in a commencement speech. Because I've seen those before, and they don't really lead to anything. So it gets even more hilarious. So this account called Protect Our Campus says NYU gave a platform to a known extremist, Logan Rozos, who used his graduation speech to spread anti-Semitic rhetoric. The university claims they had no idea this would happen, but when you empower problematic individuals, don't act surprised when hate takes the stage. Oh my God. Remember when the left, remember when it was the left that got angry about platforming people? How dare you platform someone? How dare you engage someone with civilized conversation? How dare you? And they're calling him an extremist. An extremist. Did he say anything threatening to Israel? He didn't even mention Israel in the speech. But God forbid, we take notice at an atrocity. God forbid. And they want a full execution done investigation on this kid. And refuse to give his diploma and make him unemployable. And that kind of defeats, it kind of exposes the whole, Zionist control the world narrative. Kind of gives base to that. But here's more to this. This is, again, I find it hilarious that it's called Protect Our Campus. But it's not Protect Our Campus, with free speech and diversity and inclusion for everybody's opinions and matters. No, it's demonizing people that speak out against war crimes. So what are they really protecting? The money. They're protecting their investments. They're protecting the college itself. The university claims they are unaware of the hateful content of his speech, yet they allowed a known problematic student to take the stage. How could they not have seen this coming? When you give platform to extremists, don't be shocked when they abuse it. Logan Rozos may face disciplinary measures, but NYU's failure to act is the real issue. Oh my God! A kid saying words. Why did they not act sooner? See what hypocrites they are? See what hypocrites they are? Which leads me to this funny cartoon. I thought it was kind of enticing to this. It's a young girl with looks like her dad, sitting on the couch, and it says, "Daddy, why are there millions of people starving in Gaza?" Shh, sweetie, that's anti-Semitic. That's where we are right now. That's where we are right now. And that is absolutely nuts. That you could call yourself American, you could call yourself patriotic, you could call yourself a conservative, you consider yourself a Christian, you consider yourself Jewish, whatever the case may be, you consider yourself a human being, and be okay with the exploitation on a student who recognizes that the starving and the complete wipeout of a population is bad. Because it goes against your interest. Or in this case, the interests of the Zionists that have been indoctrinating you since birth. And it's all because the problematic situation of the Zionists, the Greater Israeli Project, Benjamin Netanyahu is not even his real name, it's Milkovsky. all lied to you. They all lied to you since birth to incorporate all this for domination over a population, to exploit you for their own war crimes. And yet this is why we see a bunch of these Zarins out and people freaking out over a commencement speech, but not freaking out about the illegal starvation, which is a complete war crime. It's a crime against humanity, wiping out an entire population. And they do it on the regular. This is way before October 7th. They've done this on the regular. And no one's holding them accountable because guess what? Israel and the United States are not part of the international court. Guess you can wonder why.